It's the last what if archetype from Esco Knight. The Barian archetype. Yeah, this isn't like the archetype the Barians themselves use from Zexal. This is it references them, but it's a self-made archetype by Esco Knight himself. And you know what? He's going to give the overview. I don't even know why I'm bothering. So, you know what? Let's just stop stalling and get watching.
Greetings, humans. S-Code Knight here with another Yu-Gi-Oh! What If Archetype video. And today, we are finally covering the main antagonist of Season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Unleashed. Today, we are looking at Minus's deck, the Barian archetype. The deck itself is an overpowered Xyz archetype, which also is buffed by rank-up magic. You also have the additional benefit of, despite being high-level monsters, are capable of being summoned to the field with relative ease, so long as all the user's monsters in the extra deck are Xyz monsters. As said before, they were used by Minus, aka Jean-Michel Roger. Or Jean-Michel Rogers, if you watch the dub. It's John-Michel Rogers.
Whatever.
Anyway, he was given this deck and
Names
a
are
new
stupid.
lease on life by a superior force, and was sent back to the dimensions in order to try and reunite them so Barian World can plot its revenge. I guess I don't really need to say that the Barian archetype, at least the main deck monsters, are all based on the 7 Barian Emperors.
I already said that for you,
Not
bro.
to mention the fact that they are all named after, and they all represent, chess pieces. Which makes sense, considering the fact that John liked to display his plans like a chess game. The point where he represented his opponents as chess pieces.
I forgot
in the
he did
anime.
that.
As for the Xyz monsters, they are also based on the 7 Barian Emperors, rather it be the signature number monsters they use, or, in some case, the ancient number monsters, which were used to ignite their memories.
So,
Regardless, I think I've chatted on long enough.
Did a really well done
It's about
job
time
on
that we
those
finally
codex.
get into this deck. So, I'm S-Code Knight, and this is Minus's Barian archetype.
Barian King, a level 7 dark monster. It's a fiend effect monster with 2100 attack and 1900 defense. If all the monsters in your extra deck are Xyz monsters, normal summon this card without tributing. If this card is summoned, add 1 Barian card from the deck to your hand. It immediately can just on summon, add a Barian card. Odds are it's going to be a once per turn thing. And probably, you can probably only summon Barian King once per turn this way. But it does eat your normal summons, so, play at your own risk. But then again, this is a Barian archetype, so what risk? Barian Rock, level 7 dark monster. If it's not Rock, it's Rook, sue me. It's also a fiend effect. You know what, they're probably just going to be all dark fiends in level 7, so... But how about I just stop saying that and just move on? Well, I'll keep saying the 7 stars thing maybe, but, other than that, yeah. It's got 2600 attack and 2000 defense. If all the monsters in your extra deck are Xyz monsters, normal summon this card without tributing. And I'm just going to call this the Barian effect going forward, if that's okay with everyone. If you control a Barian monster, reduces its attack by a 1000, then special summon this card from your hand. So if you control like King, you reduce that King's attack by 1000, especially in this guy, and then you immediately use this to Xyz summon, so what cost? Obviously you play it to summon and then get it out as fast as possible. Duh. Although I do like the fact that even if you don't control another monster, it does have a way to summon itself. It's not like screwed, That's good. Barian Archfiend, another level 7. Is a fiend effect monster. I told myself I was going to stop saying that. Whatever. 2400 attack, 2000 defense. It's got the Barian Claws. Quick effect, you can discard this card from your hand and target 1 Xyz monster you control. It cannot be destroyed this turn. Also, you take no damage in battles involving this card. Or that card, I should say. That card. So, it just gives blanket protection to your Xyz monster. That's just really good and really handy. So, yeah. This is the least amount of time we've spent on this, discussing this stuff, so yeah, good. Barian Pawn, level 7 again. Am I getting the levels wrong? Sue me. We've got the Barian effect. Once per turn, if this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon one Barian monster from your GY. It's also got 2200 attack and 2000 defense. On summon or special summon, which is interesting to specify, but okay. Monster Reborn! You can summon another Barian from the graveyard. Awesome, you played. Duh. Barian Knight, level 7 again. Barian Claws got 2500 attack, 2000 defense, which means this could be a freaking protagonist 8th monster, which would be hilarious. Once per turn, you can special summon up to 2 Barian monsters from your hand or GY with their effects negated. Okay, that's pretty dang strong and better than the last guy. I assume it's one is just like, it'd be like you to somewhat balance it. It would be like, okay, you can only summon 2 from the hand or 2 from the graveyard, but not both. Because it doesn't say summon 2 Barian monsters from your hand or GY. It doesn't say from your hand and or GY, so just assume that you have, if it's in one, it can't be in the other, you know? Some way to balance it out, you know, besides just their effects being negated. Mind you, these cards don't exist, so what balance? And it's played for a boss instead of an arc, which gives it a certain level of coolness factor when the main antagonist of an arc's deck is being shown. It's just like, this always gives an extra layer of cool to it, you know? So, yeah. Barian Bishop, level 7 again. Who could have guessed? They should just stop saying it. It's got the Barian Claws. It's got 2700 attack and 2500 defense. And its effect is, if a face of Xyz monster you control will be destroyed, you can special summon this card from your GY. If you do, this card and that monster cannot be destroyed for the rest of this turn. If special summon this way, banish this card when it leaves the field. So if this thing gets in the graveyard, and your monster is attacked, you can special summon this card, then the monster that's attacked and as well as this monster are protected for the turn. From destruction specifically. Although it's going to be banished when it leaves, if it leaves the field. But you're Xyz summoning with it, which would get around that whole thing, so you just got infinite loop there protection. But yeah. It's good protection. It gives you, if you like Foolish Burial with it, it's going to be pretty good. Or you can just, you know, summon it legitimately, I guess. It's an option. At 2700 attack, and I have to use one of these monsters. Barian Queen. You know the level at this point. How are there 7 Barian Emperors, only one of them is female? Anime! Anyway. Actually, no, because if it was anime, there would only be one male member, and all the others would be females. God, now I'm imagining the Barian Emperors as a harem. Anyway, it's got the Barian Claws. Once per turn, you can reveal one Barian monster from your hand. If you do, special summon this card from your hand. Then special summon that revealed monster with its effects negated. So this thing can, like, reveal another monster. It summons itself, and then the revealed monster gets summoned as well. Although that monster that you just revealed and summoned loses its effect, which is a small price to pay. And this thing's got 2300 attack and 1200 defense, I should have mentioned. So, yeah, its stats are meh, but it's also like, yeah, it's still pretty good to get 2 monsters on the field. Its effect is negated. Oh no, most of these things, its effects are kind of mediocre. I mean, they're not the worst, but it's like, they exist. Most of them, the effects are just like, get out another guy as soon as possible. It's like, okay, and then what? Mostly nothing. I mean, you can do other stuff, but you're probably not going to. But, yeah. Guess they could get out the last guy pretty easily. The one that's Mistral. So yeah. Next. Oh, no, not Mistral. Mizar. I got Revengeance in my head. Xyz monsters. Barian Emperor 7 Nasher. It's a dark rank 7 monster. They're probably all going to be rank 7 in dark, so, you know. And probably Fiends as well. That guy's got shark's hair. It's got 2100 attack and 2000 defense. Got the same attack stats as the frickin' king. Takes 2 level 7 Barian monsters. Archetype locked. Interesting. It discards Xyz summon to attach all face-up cards your opponent controls to this card as material. Jeez, could just be like, whoa. these are mine now. I just imagine your opponent's got like a field of 5 negates, and you just summon this thing on the field. It's like, this is mine now. Okay, yeah, they got a bunch of negates. You're not summoning. This thing is going to get screwed over, you know. But it's just like, yeah. Well, maybe Dark Ruin. No, they're gonna freaking. You know what I'm trying to say. Just like imagine your opponent has a full field of monsters, and then you're just like, nom. Dick move, brah. This card gains 200 attack. Like if a card you control would leave the field, you can detach one material from it instead. I don't know why it just randomly gets 200 attack. I guess it's supposed to be that like for every exceeding material you have it gains 200 attack. I'm just gonna assume that like any 200 attack for every monster you gulp from your opponents. But yeah, it has a nice protection effect, which is handy. And they call back to the Sun Honor Arc and Dark's Constant Resurrection. It's good. Also, it should say against. Wait, what was that? Sorry, I'm gonna go back a second. Breaking the fourth wall, your immersion's ruined. Yeah, 200 attack for every material attached to it. My bad. Okay, yeah. Barian Emperor Elite Cestus, rank 7. Looks cool. 2 level 7 monsters. This card is not archetype locked. Given the fact the last one was pretty good, I can see why. Pretty good. It was good. Wait a minute. These things have the same stats as their Xyz monsters counterparts. Huh. 2500 attack, 2000 defense. Once per turn, detach 1 material from this card. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls and inflict damage equal to their combined attack. Excellent. Excellent. The problem with this is everything has destruction immunity nowadays and everything floats. But just like, yeah, it's pretty dang good. It can nuke the field at the same time. So it's like, that was the last one archetype blocked. I guess just taking the entire field of all of their materials is like, yeah, it's a little much. It's probably better to just do this, you know? Barian Emperor Ragnarreaper. It's a really cool name. 2 level 7 Fiend monsters, so it's type locked in this one. But not archetype locked, just type locked or attribute locked? No, it would be type locked. If this card battles an opponent's monster, have that monster's attack. Also, once per turn, and during either player's main phase specifically, it's a quick effect. Okay, we specified that already. You can detach 1 material from this card. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls, then draw 1 card for each monster or monsters. 2300 attack, 2000 defense, Barian as well, so, You can do a lot of things. It battles, it has the monster's attacks. Once per opponent's main phase, on quick effect, it can destroy the entire field, your opponent's entire board, and then draw a card for each of them. Do I need to explain why you play this? No, didn't think so. Good, moving on. During another player's main phase, this is say. Said that already. Barian Emperor's Star Pegasus. Takes 3 level 7 monsters. You got 2200 attack and 1900 defense. You can only use each effect of the following effects of Barian and Emperor Star Pegasus. Once per turn. Alright, you can only use each effect of this thing once per turn. You can detach 1 material from this card. Target 1 monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes 100. During your battle phase, if a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. If this card would be destroyed while it has a material, detach all material from this card and negate the destruction. If you do, halve all players' life points. This effect cannot be negated. I'm assuming that last effect is the one that can't be negated. This thing is generic, but also like it shows why it takes 3 level 7s. It can just target a monster and make its attack become 100. Okay, negate the activation of spell and trap card, with spell, trap, or monster effect, which is during the battle phase, which is like probably the weakest of the 3, but it's like, it's not terrible, you know? And if it would destroy, you can detach all of its materials and then have all players' life points, which would include your own. So if you're winning, probably shouldn't do it, but if you're about to win anyway, do it. Why not? Do it, you won't. And then your opponent plays Magic Cylinder and you cry inside. Because you can't use the effects yet, you can only use each of the following effects once per turn. Well, actually, you could just negate that effect, so never mind. Also, you take no damage. Sorry. Now we have Tanuki Hand. So I guess the last way I would just be like, so we don't take the damage from the effect activates, or just from battles involving this card? I guess we don't take the damage from the destruction of this thing. Anyway, Tanuki Hand. So it's got 2600 attack and 2000 defense. Takes 2 level 7 Fiend monsters, so it's type locked again. Once per turn, if an opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster effect, you can detach 1 material from this card. Negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. Then special summon 1 Tail Hand token to your field. Being type Dark, level 7, attack 2600, defense 2000. It's pretty darn handy. Your opponent activates any effect, detach, and get a free token for it. Also negation of the summon, so it's like, yeah, that's pretty dang good, gotta say. The only downside is the fact that tokens can't be used for Exceed materials, in which case, you could probably use this thing to maybe if you need to tribute summon the other guys. Wait, no, you have to summon the same in the first place. Okay, I don't know what the thing is, but summoning the hand is cool. Barian Emperor Tachyon Halberg. I remember this thing. It's gigantic. Takes 3 level 7 Barian monsters, so it's archtype locked again. It's got 3000 attack and 2500 defense. Oh, and also, in the actual show, this thing is the size of an actual, like, Battlestar thing, if you see, like, in any, like, sci-fi movie. Like, the main bad guy's riding this thing on top of it, like, on a throne and shit. It's like, cool. Anyway, once per turn, you can shuffle all monsters your opponent controls back into the deck. I heard you like Rainbow Neon, so how would you do it with less of a cost? If this card would be destroyed, you can detach 1 material instead. Also, this card cannot be targeted for attack while you control another Barian monster. Do I need to explain why you play this? I saw you had a nice field there. Bye. And if it would be destroyed, I'll just attach a material. And you can't target me if I have another Barian, so, deal with him, and then I'll deal with you. Ultimate Zolkin. Ugh. But still, this thing is really dang good and worth 3 Barian monsters. It's archetype locked for a bloody good reason. This card cannot be targeted for attack while you control another Barian Xyz monster. Okay, specifically a Barian Xyz monster, not Barian monster in particular. So yeah, that's weakening it a bit, but it kind of needs an extra level of weakening. Just one, you know? Chaos Xyz, Barian Emperor, Shooting Star, Pegasus. God, that name is long. So level set is, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's a level 8 monster because it's a Chaos Xyz. Duh. It's stupid? Yes, thought so. 20 level 8 monsters! That is a joke. That is the fact that he knows that you're not going to summon it legitimately. There's no way in hell you're summoning that legitimately. Unless there's like a rank up magic that uses every monster in your graveyard. Must be Xyz summoning, can't be supposed to zone through other ways. Rank up magic, Barian's Force, or something like that. Because it's treated as an Xyz summon, as I said in all of these. Anyway, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Once per turn, you can... Kaiju say hi. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card. Banish 1 monster your opponent controls face down and inflict damage equal to that banished monster's attack. I assume the attack of wallet was on the field. Your opponent cannot activate cards and effects in response to this effect activation. It's also got 3200 attack and 2800 defense. So this thing is unaffected. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. They attach a material to banish a monster your opponent controls face down and burn them for it, and they can't respond to it. Do we need to explain why that's good? I don't? Good. I'm glad we're all in agreement. Chaos Xyz, Barian Emperor, Ray Archfiend, rank 8. This is like combining Xyz forms, because Ray was the name of Vector in the dub, and then they got Archfiend, so just like do Mon. It takes 6 level 8 monsters. It's got question mark attack and 0 defense. This card's effect cannot be negated. Oh, thank goodness it's effect. I was worried about that. I am joking. Once per turn, during either player's turn, quick effect, you can You can attach 1 material from this card, attach 1 monster your opponent controls to this card as material. It gains 1000 attack for each material to it. If this card would be destroyed by battle, you can detach 1 material from it instead. Also, you take no damage. So this thing on someone will have 6,000 attack points, can link your opponent's monster to make it up to 7,000. You take no damage from it because you're controlling it. It can't be destroyed by battle. Well, it can't, unless you detach material, of course. The effect can't be negated, and yeah. It's a quick effect on top of that. So, yeah, good. Chaos succeeds Barian Emperor Neo Tachyon Draco Fleet. Once again, a rank 8. Really damn cool look, too. 5 level 8 Fiend monsters. Got 4,500 attack and 3,400 defense. When this card exceeds summon, negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent controls. Once per turn, you can banish cards your opponent controls up to the number of exceeds material on this card, or that this card has. When this card battles a monster, negate its effects. Negate my effects? Oh no, I like my 3-headed dragon to have its effects. I'm kidding. I know what it means. Dude, I don't see someone you negate my effect or negate my effect again. Does that mean I get it back? No, I'm kidding. I know that's like when it's a monster that's not the one that you summon. That was on the field when you summon this thing, but still. If this card would leave the field by battle card effects attachment material from this thing instead. I like how some are just like, hey, I have blanket protection against battle or destruction, and some of the other ones are just like, no, bro, you gotta detach for me first. I know it's balanced, but just like one of those things that's kind of funny, you know? So on summon negates everything, which is like a Neo Photon Ultimate Dragon thing-a-fudger. So yeah, it's kind of yoink. You made this? I made this. You can banish monster opponent controls up to the material this thing has. You takes 5 level 8s, so summon this thing legitimately, and it's not. And to be fair, it's generic. You could just take 5 monsters or banish 5 monsters. On battle, it negates effects, and it can detach to save itself. So, do I need to explain why this is good? No, didn't think so. Bye. No, not bye, but you know. Chaos exceeds 1,000 Gates of Hope. It is a rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 monster. I assume it would be 13, but he can't make that in Card Maker. Is a divine attribute monster. Hell, maybe it's a rank 14. So that's question mark attack and defense. It must be special summoned by the effect of beyond the 1,000. Or by the effect of rank up magic beyond the 1,000. It cannot be summoned by other ways. You can see that because it doesn't say how many material level monsters it takes to make it. This card can only attack if Barian World is on your field. It's the generic field spell of the archetype. This card gains attack and defense equal to the number of exceeds monster in either player's graveyard times 7,000. This card is unaffected by all card effects that would make it leave the field. Kaijus aren't card effects. Also, its effects cannot be negated. Also, this card cannot be attributed. Oh, we thought of Kaijus. Okay, then. After this monster is summoned, have your opponent skip their next draw phase. Also, your opponent cannot special summon from the deck. They can summon from the deck anyway. I assume that was supposed to be extra deck. During your draw phase, gain life points through this card's attack. You can tell what the final boss monster was. Imagine just having a monster on summon just be like, okay, gain 7,000 attack for every disease monster in our graveyard. You what? Do I need to explain why this thing... Look, this thing is clearly the final boss monster written all over it. If I need to explain why you play it, you're an idiot. And most of the fact that I want to read all that stuff again. I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player, I don't like reading things. But yeah, make your opponent skip their drop phase, yada luck. As I mentioned, Minus almost used this to get infinite life points. The only reason he didn't is because Mephiles had an out. Because of course he did. So yeah, big monster hit hard and good. The only downside is it needs the field because it needs some backlash. Anyway, spells and traps. Barian World, the field spell. You spelled it wrong. What was it, Barian Wood? Well, the Barian Wood do it. This card gains the following effects depending on the number of Barian monsters on your field or in your GY. Oh boy. If you have 1, this field spell cannot be negated and is unaffected by card effects. No MSD. And no interruption. If you have 4 or more, during your standby phase, you gain 7,000 life points. If you got 7 or more, once per duel, you can skip your draw phase, then add 1 card from your deck to your hand. Barian's Chaos Draw. If you got 14 or more, the attack of all monsters you control are doubled. Sounds like the 14th effect is kind of should be replaced with the 7 effect, but I know why it was done that for Barian's Chaos Drop. It's one of those things to be like, I feel like those two are kind of should be backwards, but that's just me. Maybe I'm the one that's biased, maybe I'm the problem. So yeah, if you got one, it can't be. So this thing, at the very least, can't be completely destroyed by a lot of things. You could gain 7,000 life points, which is a lot. No duh. You could add one card from your deck to your hand, or your monster's attack could be doubled. It all depends on how many Barian monsters you got in the field, or in your GY, or I assume it's supposed to be both. So yeah. Also, it's your archetypal field. It's going to make your Beyond the 1000 work. So yeah. Thanks. Duh. Barian Photon Cannon, an equipped spell. Equipped only to a Barian Xyz monster. It gains an additional attack for all other Barian monsters you control. Also, all Barian monsters you control gain 1,000 attack. It's not even just the one that you equip it to, it's going to share with all of its friends too. So it gets to attack an extra amount of times due to the number of Barian Xyz monsters you have. Or just Barian monsters, but I assume it's going to be Barian Xyz monsters. So yeah. Duh. Play it. Barian Rage. Normal spell. Target one Barian Xyz monster in your graveyard. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack. Short, sweet, and to the point. Obviously, they play it for that damn reason. I don't need to explain it. Well, you play one of it at the very least. It's a once per turn, sorry. Well, duh. Gotta be some restriction. Barian Overlay. It's supposed to be Overlay, because we've got the Chaos Xyz materials. Because every Chaos Xyz monster that's used by the every Chaos number 1000 monster, or over 100 number, has the frickin' red lines on that shit. It's just like, after a while, it just becomes visually, boring. Anyway, this card's effect is, target up to 2 Barian monsters in your GY. Special summon those targets. You can banish this card from your GY. Target one Xyz monster you control. Attach the top 2 cards of your deck to that target. So this thing could bring back 2 monsters in your graveyard, or 2 Barian monsters in your graveyard, and you can banish it to make 2 cards on top of your deck materials to a monster. So yeah, handy. You give it to your Emperor, you give it to that thing against them. There's a lot of things you can put this onto, and it can be very handy for those like, I'm out of materials. No, you're not. And obviously it's a once per turn, because duh. Rank Up Magic. Supreme Barian Force. Quick play spell. Oh boy, here we go. If you control no monsters, target one Xyz monster in your GY, special summon it. Then special summon from your extra deck one number C or Chaos Xyz monster with the same type as that monster you control, but 1 rank higher, by using its Xyz material. This special summon is treated as an Xyz summon. Xyz material attached to it become Xyz materials on the summon monsters. Also, you can attach any number of Xyz monsters in your graveyard to that special summon card as material. So it's kind of like Rank Up Magic, the 7th one, but you also get to attach more equipment from your graveyard. So yeah, it's better. And you don't have to wait for your fucking draw phase, geez, you can just use it whenever, like in the anime. The only downside to this is you have to control no monsters, but it's just like, it had to have some weakness, okay guys? And every card can be fucking broken as hell. As much as you like it to be. Konami! Rank Up Magic. Beyond the 1000! Normal spell. It's like a little chibi 1000. I know it's supposed to be the door, but still. Pay half your life points, then send all but 1 monster from your extra deck to the GY. If you've been summoning and spamming this thing, you probably only have 1 monster left at this rate. Special summon 1 Chaos Xyz monster from your extra deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. It doesn't have any summoning. But the Barian monster doesn't have summoning conditions. The over 1000 summoning condition is that it has to be summoned through this card. So you're not ignoring the summoning conditions, you're fulfilling it. But I guess this is just like to be like if you want to summon something else, If this card is banished, return it plus 1 other card that is banished to your GY. I think somehow Minus used this to combo with another card so they can make his monster's attack point become infinity. The Beyond the 1000's attack points become infinity, because that was like the one way you could go over 100,000 attack points. To take that to 1,000, your base stats to 100,000, mine's fucking infinite. So yeah, if you want to play the over the 1000, you have to play this card. Even if it's not, you don't think it's that great, it's still fine, you know. Barian Shield, normal trap. If there are no cards on your field, you can activate this card from your hand. You take no damage for the rest of this turn. You can banish this card from your GY. Add one Barian Katsid card from your deck to your hand. So it just gives you generic protection if you have it's the only card in your hand, or if you have no cards on the field, it's just an instant activation. And you can Foolish Burial Goods, you have this thing in the graveyard to act as a freaking searcher for the archetype. So it's like, yeah, you gotta play it only for that second effect. Barian Urge, normal trap. You reach into the stars. If a Barian monster you control is destroyed, gain life points equal to that destroyed monster's attack. So I assume this attack while it was on the field, so yeah, you could probably get back to everything you lost, and then some. You can banish this card from your GY, target one Barian Disease monster you control, and if you do, that target gains 400 attack for each material attached to it. It gives your monster a power boost, which is like, it's alright. Give this thing like maybe 2 or 3. No, 2. I don't know if you play that much, but still like 1 to 3. Ratios may vary depending on your preference. Also, gain life points equal to double its attack. Sorry. Okay, so gain life points equal to double the attack of that monster. Barian Curse, continuous trap. During your opponent's standby phase, half your opponent's life points. During your standby phase, destroy this card. There's probably some card that like skips your drop base, so you can keep doing that over and over again. I heard Declan's skill activate. Well, actually, then that got nerfed to the ground, as it should have been. So it's like, yeah, just have your life points basically for free, or your opponent's life points for free. So it's like, play if you want to. Barian Bond, normal trap. It's got the shark and his sister, or the king and queen in this archetype. Send 2 Barian monsters with different names from your deck to the GY, then target 1 Barian monster you control. It becomes unaffected by all card effects until the end of the turn. You can banish this card along with 1 other card from your GY until the attack of all monsters you control. Yeah, one of the other ones was like ban it, return this thing and another card to the graveyard. It's double monster attack. So just like remove these 2, banish, put these 2 back, double. Banish this. There's another card here to double. You get the move. So the fact that you can just like extend 2 cards or graveyard with just like double Foolish Burial, just great on top of that. Just great in general, because some of these have great effects that are handy. 1 card in your field could become unaffected by everything, so it's just great. And then like you got the loop, so yeah, it's cool.
And that is this broken archetype done.
Dang right.
And just in case you want to play this deck for yourself, you can now find these very cards on Dueling Book with a lot of slightly altered text.
Of course.
Link in the description. With all of that said and done, I'm S-Code Knight, and tell me what you think of this archetype. Leave a comment down below, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, the Barian archetype's a pretty cool one, It's played by a boss of the series that kind of gets, again, as I said before, a level of cool factor to it. It's not my favorite archetype or anything like that, but I still think it's pretty cool and all that jazz. So yeah, Amaz is like the best part of the, it's still one of my favorite like reviews of Unleashed. It's like, probably top 10 moments of Unleashed. I don't think Minus would be like in the top 3, but like, well, maybe be the top 3, top 5. I should make one at some point, but anyway, yeah. It's easily one of my favorite moments, I can say that for sure. Bet on it. I'd say this is what Arc 5 should have been, but honestly, I'm glad that Arc 5 was what it was, because we kind of needed the presidents of the world and all that stuff in order for this to be made. So it wasn't for Arc 5, this wouldn't exist. So thank you, Arc 5. In a weird way. So yeah, that was it. Now on to Pokemon Science and Magic next week. It's stuff people care about. I care about this stuff. That's good. I just like me. Later.